Just be yourself, Felix, because we're playing Peak together. Me, you.
Exactly.
We're gonna climb the
Why would
top.
I? Why would I try to be anybody else?
Correct. We like genuine gameplay.
We like
Uh,
genuine content and genuine people
no
with
AI. No
genuine
AI
Discord
content.
servers.
Yeah, fuck Discord servers. Only
Get off
your,
the.
only your. I'm waking up. Oh yeah,
You want to be a backpack guy or me?
sure. I'm following your lead. So what do you want me to do?
I'll take this first backpack and then you'll take the next one.
Do I need this guidebook?
No, that has the like some of the basics in there. Definitely good for you to look over if you've never looked over it.
Okay, I've never looked over it, but I'm not gonna. What's this for?
I know that those are new and you need 6 to fly.
Bing
If we take
bong.
that to the top, we'll get a special badge.
What's the conch for?
The what? That's trash.
It's cooked.
It's in reference to their other game about a crab that the developers made.
So you know a lot about this game.
No,
You just it's just trending. It's the most popular game right now. Peak.
this is not the most popular game right now, but it is the most recent like game that had its phase with social media and just being popular like that. It is fun. Kind of like how Repo had its thing and Lethal Company had its thing.
But I like
It's just
Repo a
next
lot.
flavor.
I
Do you
never
like
got,
Lethal Company?
no, I like Repo. I never played Lethal Company.
Oh, I like Lethal Company. It's not as fun as Repo, but it's a little bit more challenging. Are you behind me?
Yeah. Remember, I'm like new with this, so you gotta look out for your teammates. You're a team player, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
What's your mindset right now? Like, why is this is
I'm
this
hungry right now, bro.
is this the way you always go?
Bro, the map changes every day. How can I always go this way if the map changes? It sounds like you're not very familiar with this game whatsoever,
Yeah, you told me to buy it. I'm a good friend. I was like, okay,
bro.
I'll buy it to play with you because I love playing with my friends.
And then you were like, shit, this game is a lot harder than he said. I'm never gonna play that game again for another 4 months.
I was having difficulties with the rope. We just, you know, our schedules didn't align. I'm always here for you.
What's taking you so long?
I fell earlier.
There's medicinal roots right there.
How did you point at that?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Scroll wheel?
Oh yeah. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna go after them or?
If you need them, you can get them, but I'm gonna
Nah,
stay right here.
nah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm just hungry, a little hungry.
Oh shit, I didn't make it.
Dang. Okay, let's go for those medicinal
Uh,
herbs.
yeah. They're herbs. The H is silent.
But they're herbs, right? Like
What do you mean they're herbs?
they come
When you
from.
say when you say herbs, you don't pronounce the H.
Oh, herbs.
Yeah.
Do we have to cook this carrot or?
No, you can just eat it like that.
Did you eat it already?
I had a bandage and I used my bandage first.
Should I save it or should I eat it?
You should eat it.
Yum. So now we're going a different route.
Yeah, because I don't think we can make it through that way.
If it gets too cold, will we freeze to death, or?
Yes.
And that'll happen in the nighttime, or?
No, not right now.
Not on this map.
It's on this map, but I have to increase the difficulty to get us to that point.
Oh.
Holy fuck.
Just barely.
I'm really not sure about this way either.
I thought you put it on default.
This is on default, bro.
There's too many TikTok kids playing this game, probably.
Nah, I'm not gonna have the energy to do this. I'm gonna die. Ooh. Uh-oh, you fucked up.
This game's sketch.
Oh, I can stand right here.
Too good. Why is this game so hard?
Did you fall and die?
No. Did you? Are you making it?
I made it, bro. I stopped. I'm waiting for you. I don't know where you are.
I might need your hand.
I'm waiting for you to give you my hand.
Alright, I'm coming.
Can't go lower because I'll fucking fall and die.
Hold up, I'm getting my energy back. And where'd you go?
I'm where we were, bro.
I'm coming. Save me. Okay, I don't need your saving.
You're dead?
I died.
Like dead?
Yeah.
You want to restart?
Like there's nothing I can do? Like, can you come revive me or what?
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Until I get to the top and then I unlock you.
So you can bring me back to life?
I can bring you back to life, but you're gonna have to watch me play for a bit.
Alright, that's fine. Free content. You're almost there, right?
I don't know.
Will the Scoutmaster come and kill you?
The Scoutmaster would come and kill me, say, had you, like, fallen, and I kept going up. It attacks me based on, distance from another player.
Where's my ghost? My ghost can no longer mess with you or what?
No, you're right there, bro. Ghost, more like a fucking Echo.
Funny.
Is that not what the ghost looks like?
Like booger?
No, it looks like a fucking sperm.
You think that was their intention?
No.
Did you see the drama they had? They had to remove a hat A specific hat?
No, I didn't see the drama.
There's drama everywhere nowadays.
Like Discord,
Yeah, like Discord servers and Facebook groups,
Instagram groups.
Instagram group chats. I hate it. I'm so over it.
Are you taking notes?
Yeah, I'm trying my best. There's a
Alright.
suitcase over there. You don't want it or what? You didn't even see that.
It's a poison.
Oh, I hear that's broken.
It used to be. It's not anymore.
We can duplicate items, right?
I don't know. Sounds like you know everything about this game except how to play it.
Well, I just watch YouTube clips. I'm a YouTube clip person.
You should watch some YouTube clips on how to get good at this game. Like, after this video's over, you can rewatch it and then see how good I'm playing.
Right?
And then,
Like, I'm showing my viewers how to become great at Peak.
yeah, bro, you should tell them about what I'm doing,
I mean, you're showing us.
I guess.
How'd you get so good at video games?
I've just always been a gamer, bro.
Like gamer life?
Yep. Something like that.
Look at you. Look at you. You like mushrooms? Like the hat?
No, it's just really hard to get, and I really like the hat.
There's a suitcase over there.
Yeah, I see it.
You're almost there, man.
I really want to get the hat for Bing Bong, but you kind of messed that up already.
Oh, sorry, man.
If you go to the top with Bing Bong, you get the propeller hat that he wears in his head.
Bing bong.
Apparently that shit's it talks, right? But it's controlled by the developers, and the developers will like pop into people's games.
Wait, what?
And yeah, Bing Bong,
What does it do?
he talks.
And it's a developer?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
at least that's what I've heard.
Like to see if we're cheating or what?
Yeah, to see if you're cheating, just to pop in to see like how you're playing, and just so they can get notes.
So if we're exploiting a glitch, can we get banned?
With if we have Bing Bong, potentially, but the developer would have to see us, I think.
Resurrect me. I am resurrected. Wow. The fog rises.
All right,
What's-
get that backpack.
Backpack.
And then cook your marshmallow.
Nice. And now I just eat it?
If you want to eat it.
Oh, I want to eat it. How do I put stuff in my backpack?
You gotta take it off and put it on the ground and put it in. You really suck at this game, bro.
So I have to drop the backpack too?
Yes.
I'm learning. Whoa. We're going the distance. We're going for speed. What are you doing? Are you climbing the wall?
Try not to fall to my death.
Oh, it's much easier to climb down than it is up. That doesn't make sense. Felix, where'd you
Behind
go?
me?
Don't leave me.
Hurry up, bro. Take too long. The fog's gonna catch us, and then we're both gonna be fucked. Because of you.
Not the fog.
Bro, you say that now, but your ass is gonna probably get stuck in it.
They think it's like Silent Hill or something.
No, it makes you cold and it starts freezing you.
It's raining. We got this. We got this.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Have
I
you
think
ever
we gotta
been?
pick a different way. We gotta pick a different way.
Have you been to the top?
Have I been to the top
Yeah. Like you be in the game.
in this map? What do you
Just
mean?
Like all the
Have
maps.
am I summited? Yeah,
With who?
myself. Every time I play with Adam, he gets so frustrated and he always dies.
Oh, poor Adam.
He can't play more than once because he gets so frustrated. Like you.
I don't get frustrated. I just
Get frustrated.
I like repo.
At the point where we're at in Repo, it is not easy though.
Like there's a bunch of mobs.
Yesterday we got to 20 and we completed 20, so now we're on 21. Careful with this
21.
poison.
Can you do something for me?
And at level 21, oh, there's a thing that'll explode up here.
Throw something at it.
When you get to 21, there's 5 extracts, and after every extract, the monsters respawn. And when I say the monsters respawn, it's probably like fucking. There's probably like at least a dozen monsters.
Thanks. And
Thanks.
you're all gunned out.
Yeah. We have the shotgun, the laser blaster, the pistol, the trank gun.
How do we get rid of the poison?
You just don't come into contact with more and just keep going.
That eventually disappears or what?
Yeah. There's a suitcase around all this poison if you wanted to get to it. I don't.
Do you think I can get it? Careful, careful, careful.
I think
May-
you can, but
Maybe it's
I
not
don't know if
worth
it's
the
worth
risk.
it. It was worth it.
Do I go that way or no?
No. Let's go right there.
I'm starting to get a little
Wait for it
hungry.
to stop raining.
Alright, that's good. It's slippery when it's raining or what?
Yeah. You're going the wrong way.
Nice. Sketched out. What about
Alright,
this? What
you're gonna
about
have to
right
jump
here?
here.
What about right here?
Right where? There?
Yeah. And then like up there.
I got 2 sketched out.
Is this? Will this blow up?
Yes. Bruh, what's wrong with you?
It's okay. I didn't die. I think I'm getting really good at this game.
I don't think so.
I'm not like Adam. Shout out Adam if you're watching.
Oh, that's not good.
See, my way was good, right?
Sure.
Hey, wait, whoa. Don't leave me, friend. What if we make it to the top?
What if we make it to the top?
Like the last one?
I don't think you'll make it.
We get a helicopter ride? Where'd you go?
I went up. On the tree.
You avoided all the spores? Oh, okay.
You didn't make it, right? Because it's raining?
Nice. I love when we hold hands. Sheesh. I think this wall might be better. Where'd you go? Did you die?
Yeah, I died.
No way.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do it yourself.
You had all the stuff.
It's gone.
I'm a survivor. That's why it's important to follow my lead, because I'm a natural born leader.
Right.
Ah, I see you. El Dookie.
Oh, fuck, that's green.
Do not eat this, right?
What is it?
The green crispberry.
Yeah, don't eat that. Those have to be purple. Oh, those have to be red, sorry.
Sheesh.
Thanks. I'm sorry.
Give me that hand, baby. We can't climb these ones with the spines.
No, that'll poison you.
You don't think straight up here is the way to go?
No. Well, are you gonna make it?
Mm,
I don't
Nah.
think so either. So why would we even try?
yeah, you're doing
It
good.
makes sense.
Nah, you're doing good.
Okay, okay. Don't question my authority then.
You think you're fucking Cartman or what?
You even say it yourself. It's good to follow the leader or something like that.
You're right. You're right.
Careful, there's poison there.
Thanks. Like the leaves?
Right here, right here.
Nice. We're smooth sailing. Think Adam will be jealous if we get to the top together? Thank you, man.
You have food?
Nah, just rope. Hey, sometimes we have to take 2 steps back to move 4 steps forward.
Okay.
You let me die, bro.
Bro, I didn't let you die. You fucking did some weird ass shit with your controls and you fell.
Thanks. We're almost there. How do you do that? Are you pressing a button?
Right click.
We're home free, baby. They said it couldn't be done. I never thought I'd get past this level. The black stuff never goes away.
When you do the camp, when you light the camp.
Why'd you do that?
Because we're both alive, and it'll give you something like mythic.
Oh yeah.
Dibs on this.
This is good, right? Scorchberry? It's red.
You eat it and it'll burn you.
Okay. Alright, well. That'll Mary Poppins you away?
I think so. Want to cook it before you eat it?
Does it heal all your hunger? Should I save it?
I don't know. It's up to you.
La Mesa. Oh, so you get all the cool items? Woo, look at
Bro,
you
I
go.
work for them.
You mean you gamed for them? Oh, snap. Yo, I'm burning.
Yeah. You burn here. Did you eat the scorchberry?
No?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the sun here makes you hot. Like burns you, makes you hot. You gotta stay in the shade. I haven't. This is the first time I played this map, so I don't know.
Well, you also have a hat too.
Doesn't make a difference.
It does, I hear. Okay, well, where are you? Okay, you're right there.
Here, eat this. Tell me if it's poisonous.
No, that's good.
How do you know?
And the one on top is good. Like, if it's on top of the cactus, it's good to eat. Man, this map's annoying. Oh, shit. They got me playing hot potato with the sand. Such an annoying map.
Where you at?
I'm right here.
Okay, I'm right here too.
You see me?
No.
I'm just, let's try to meet at the base of the mountain, like over there. I'm just
Okay.
trying to like stay in the shade as much as possible. You see my finger?
Mm-mm.
There's
Not
a
looking for a
suitcase all the way up there.
Oh my god.
Where are you?
I'm hiding in a cave really quick so I can recover some not burnt.
Yeah, I can relate. They're like yellow bananas. Can I eat those?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Do you see my finger?
No.
I found water. I found chupacabras. I don't know what they're called.
Chupacabras?
Capybaras.
Oh, okay.
They have a yellow winterberry. Can I eat that?
Yeah, you can eat those. You want to put those in your backpack too. Fill your backpack up with those.
Can I drink water?
No. I'm at the base of the mountain already.
Okay, well. I guess I'm on the way. I got sidetracked. Oh snap! Oh snap! Oh
You're dead.
snap! Oh snap! I'm dead.
Okay. But you should follow the leader, Joey, or whatever
You
said.
left me! You left me!
I didn't leave you. You went a completely different direction from me, bro.
No, bro, you left me. I tried to find you so many times.
You said, okay, let's meet at the base of the mountain. Okay, bro, I'm here at the base of the mountain. Where are you?
I found a suitcase and there was like a sand hole.
Well, Sounds like it was your fault, bro.
And there was a
You
like
got greedy.
there was like an animal that ate me and shit.
I don't believe you.
I have footage.
Okay, well, we'll review it.
It kind of jump scared me, honestly.
Baby. Oh,
Oh snap! I'm alive. How'd you
bitch.
bring me back? What the?
Don't worry about it, bro. Just don't die again.
Do you see that tornado over there?
Yeah, I heard that. I saw online that I heard that that thing only picks up little bitches. So yeah, it makes sense. It only picks up people who are toxic on Discord.
And Facebook groups
Oh, right.
and Instagram.
Oh shit.
I don't know. I send people really good reels.
Are you behind me?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if we walk up to the dynamite, it explodes. From what I've seen online.
You can't throw it at it. Throw that at it. Don't throw it at me, dude.
You try. I'm gonna fuck with that. Yep. Oh, there's another one. I thought I would have gotten both of them.
Get down.
Could you pick the thorns out of me, or does that not work?
I got you, BB.
No.
I got him.
Oh, you got me.
Do I have thorns on me?
No.
That explosion was crazy.
You're gonna have to go sideways on this one.
See that pickaxe right there or no?
Yeah.
I might need your hand, amigo. I'ma die. Oh my god. Oh my god. Can we not get that pickaxe?
Why do you want the pickaxe, bro? What are you gonna use the
Because
pickaxe
this is
for?
Minecraft, okay?
No, bro. Get over it. You're 50 years old. Grow up.
50-year-old and still playing Minecraft. The hell?
Put
What's
the
this?
cannon down and you get in and shoot yourself, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay, where do you want me to shoot? Like up there?
I don't know. I've never played this map before.
You maybe want to get a little higher before we.
Fuck it. Try right here.
I guess like.
Blow away. Blow away. Good luck, soldier.
How do I get in it?
I don't know, bro. I've never used this thing. Are you in there? Alright, I'm gonna light the fuse. Stay there. Don't move.
Light it. Oh shit!
Oh, you didn't even go that far. You're gonna burn alive, bro.
I made it, baby. I'm the best around. Ain't nobody gonna take me down. Oh, there's a crab here, Felix. There's a crab.
You gonna stay down there?
Yo, just,
All right.
dude, let me get to you.
You want to go to the top like a winner, or you want to stay at the bottom like a fucking loser, bro?
I want to
You
get to the
choose.
top.
Man, this sun is really gonna fucking kick our ass here. I don't know what to do.
Oh. Thanks.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? Can I eat this? Oh!
Throw it away. There's.
Careful, bro. What are you doing? Oh my god.
I'm alive, baby. I'm alive.
I'm dead. I think the scorpion got me. Oh! Oh my god. I fucked up. They put dynamite in the fucking luggage now. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. I got poisoned. I'm gonna chill here for a bit.
I have a bandage. Do I heal you?
No, leave me alone. Don't touch my body.
Let me touch you.
How am I getting more poison? Oh, there goes my umbrella.
Can I give you CPR? No, the umbrella. So you have no injuries?
No, I just got poisoned.
I'm gonna heal myself then. Nice.
Damn, I can't believe I lost my umbrella.
What if we go this way?
Yeah, I plan on it. I just gotta chill for a bit because I don't have any energy. Actually,
I hate going that way.
okay, I got a little bit of energy now. Where'd you go?
Right here.
You wanna go this way or you wanna go that way?
This way. Where I'm going. That's way easier. Yeah, it's way easier.
Well, careful because you're about to get out of the shade.
How'd you do that?
I gotta teach you how to do everything in this game.
I figured it out. I like your balloon.
Thanks. Is it purple?
Yeah. Can't believe people do this for a living.
Play Peak? People play Peak for a living?
Well, that, yes, and do it in real life.
I don't know people who climb mountains for a living. Maybe like mountain climbing guides.
Look, you see that scorpion
More
over
like a
there?
hobby.
You see that scorpion?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna fucking eat it.
Yeet! Nice.
Oh, I found a mine shaft.
This is
Empty.
Minecraft. It's another Minecraft ripoff. Has Adam ever got this high?
I mean, before this was the frozen map,
Oh,
but I don't know if he ever made it to the frozen map.
what
He
about
usually
just like,
survives about 5-10 minutes and then dies, and then I have to climb by myself because he wants to go his own way, and I have my way of going.
I like your way.
Go this way. Oh, my balloon popped.
Dang. I hate when that happens.
All right, you're going your own way now? Cool.
No, I'm just trying to get higher elevation. Where'd you go? Where'd you go, man?
Bro, I went the way I was going. You went up. I don't know why you went up. There's nowhere to go.
Okay, well, don't leave me. Found you, found you. How'd you get over there?
Bro, you climb, bro. That's what the whole fucking game is about. What do you mean, how do you get over there? What's wrong with you?
Maybe there's a secret path.
Yeah, I took the extra secret
Help me!
path. Oh, bro, I'm grabbing a delivery.
It's okay. Let me grab those thorns out your face. Anything from HB.
Okay. Alright. You want to go there or find out what's up here?
Let's go there. Over there. They're so dramatic with the sound effects. Perfect. Whew, we're almost there.
To your right, to your right, to your right, to your right. Why are you going up?
Ooh! Ooh! Man, that was close.
Shit, we might be screwed here. We might have to go cross. Because this doesn't really make any sense. And then hurry because the sun's coming out. Fuck. Get in here, get in here, get in here. Then right here. Right here, behind you. Behind you. Then turn around. Jump, pussy.
It's a team game.
Then you're gonna have to run along this. Yeah. There's shade right here.
Sheesh. Why'd they make this game so hard?
It's easy, bro. You just make it hard.
It's the hardest game I've ever played in my life.
How come you never played Getting Over It? That's probably the hardest game you've ever played.
That was your favorite series, right?
Yeah, because you couldn't get more than 5 minutes into the game without fucking flipping out.
Yeah, I love to flip out.
It was a more genuine video.
I love to crash
Oh,
out.
fuck. The scorpion got me again. Alright, my character's gonna pass out up here.
You dazed and confused or what?
Come closer a little bit. Are they coming off?
Yeah,
Okay,
we're all good.
I think you're good.
I should be able to do that myself. I don't know why.
I think you have to like look down really hard. Kind of like the ticks.
I have yet to run into a tick.
Those really suck.
Hey, we're doing it.
There's dynamite over here.
Boom goes the dynamite. Are these good to eat?
No.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You ate it?
No,
Oh.
I was examining it because some mushrooms are edible.
Yeah, not that one.
Hey, hey, hey.
You behind me?
Yeah, I'm behind you. Playing the heat. Can you throw that hand?
You don't right click. If you right click, it's not gonna work.
Oh, like you'll just automatically pick me up or what?
Yes. We don't have to connect hands. I just have to come close enough to you and then I'll pick you up automatically.
You hear me spamming my right click or what?
Now I see you sticking out your arm. Your arm.
Is that a suitcase over there?
I don't know what that is.
Looks like an abandoned car.
It's a suitcase, but it'll deal damage to you when you open it. You behind me still?
Yeah. Slowly but surely.
Should be a cakewalk from here.
Yes, sir. I'm starting to get a little hungry. Nice. It's like at the light at the end of the tunnel.
Alright, I'm at the top.
I never thought I'd make it this far.
You didn't. You died twice. Real
I'm
quiet
alive.
now, huh?
I'm alive. Well, good thing this is just a video game. Because if this is IRL, I bet I'd make it all the way to the top.
Yeah, me too, I bet. If this was IRL, I bet you would be the other way around.
Nah, never.
I'd be at the bottom.
I'd bring you up with me, man. How do I get... Can I not jump? Can you grab those?
No. Why don't you climb it?
So I know what's gonna happen.
Oh, wow.
We're in the volcano now,
This is
baby.
different. A little bit. Now, this
More
next map, in my opinion,
is the
is
hardest.
the easiest.
Oh, okay.
You can make it the hardest if you don't know what you're doing. You just gotta know what you're doing. So,
Alright, well, tell me what
please
to do.
follow me.
Alright, well, don't leave me.
I'm not leaving you, bro. I'm going down.
Down, 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 down. This is sketchy, bro.
You see me?
Yeah. Wait for me, wait for me, wait for me. What's that noise?
You behind me?
Yes, I'm behind you.
Okay, because in 2 seconds you'll be like, bro, where'd you go? How'd you get there, bro?
Why'd you leave me, bro? It's a team game, bro.
Look and notice how the lava pools and it recedes. You want to go when it's receding. When it's pulling, you want to do the opposite and avoid getting close to it. Like you are right now. GG's. GG. Did you die?
You can. I think you can revive me.
Bruh. With
Give
what?
me give me CPR.
Terrible at this game, bro. Nah.
Just cremate me before you go. Give me a warrior's death.
I can't throw you.
Oh, there I go! Damn.
I literally just finished explaining the lava and you fucking
No.
ignored everything.
No.
Yes, I did. It's on footage, bro. It's on record, bro.
You left and you're like, and then I'm following your lead and you're like, oh yeah, the lava Goes down and up. I don't know what. And I jumped when the lava was coming up, so whatever.
Did you hear that? You said I jumped when the lava was coming up. Keywords there.
Well, how was I supposed to know lava comes up and down?
Bro, come on now.
It's alright, you'll revive me again.
For the what, third time or the fourth time?
Just third time.
Watch, bro, you're about to see a pro move.
Are you running on lava?
No, there's no lava.
It's just heat.
Yup.
And the heat will go away eventually?
Yeah. Oh shit, I might be fucked here.
You're good, just relax a bit, man. Just take a chill pill. Nice.
Oh. Oh shit, I thought my game crashed. That would have sucked balls.
Mr. Dookie Man.
See how easy that was?
Good job, man. That's the peak or what?
No. You wish.
I wish.
You should play some solo, bro. Hone your skills a little bit.
I'll try.
I'll believe it when I see it, bro.
Woo, baby! I'm back in the game. Better than ever. Thanks, man.
Yeah, whatever.
Why are you so good at this game? I have a rope cannon. I have an energy drink. Do I give you the rope cannon? Hey, what you doing with that rope?
Here. I'm gonna drop it, you're gonna pick it up immediately.
Wait.
Ready? Bro, what's wrong with you?
Do it again. I got a little thingy. Look at my little thingy.
And then take those bandages, because you'll need them more than I will.
I only have a rope. I have a rope gun, energy drink. Do I give you the energy drink?
Drink the energy drink.
I'm about to fall asleep.
I actually think they changed the energy drink. Fuck. Now this is the hardest map.
Yo, why is it getting red?
How do you say that word, Joey?
The kill. Honestly, bro, I didn't even read it. I was too busy trying to cook the marshmallow and pick up my bandages. The Killian?
Yeah.
The Killian? You want me to use this?
No? Did I say use that?
And just Batman, baby.
Let's go this way.
Okay, just chill, just chill.
Behind me?
Yeah. Rope gun now? We can go this way.
No. I don't like that way either.
What about up here?
I think we need to go down here and then rope gun right there.
Sounds good.
So you want to shoot your rope gun like right there. Bro. What's wrong with you?
I think we'll make it.
I'll probably make it. I don't think you will. You totally fucked up this rope gun.
Throw the rope down here.
I can't. You fucked it up.
Alright, be ready. Get ready to catch me. I'm coming.
How can I make it? Okay.
You gotta believe. Thanks, BB. I can't re-pick up the rope gun?
No, bro, it doesn't even make sense.
What's the point in owning a gun if you can't reload it?
Hilarious.
They need to hire me, these Peak developers. I'm hearing like demonic noises.
Okay.
What does that mean?
It means hurry up, the fog's catching up to you. Alright, this requires a little bit of finesse. You see me?
Yeah. Sheesh.
Give me your hand. Getting out of here is probably going to be a little bit of a problem. It also requires a little bit of finesse.
I'm the finesse man.
Alright, don't do this, don't do this. Give me 1 second to figure out what. Alright. There's barely like a little ledge right here. Probably enough for one person.
Alright. Okay, give me your hand, give me your hand, give me your hand.
Oh shit!
It's okay.
You almost made me fall.
Okay, I lived. Should I use this rope?
Oh my god. Is it the blue one?
Yeah.
Where are you?
I'm down here.
Fuck it. Fuck it, use it. I don't know. I don't care.
Alright, bet.
Just don't
You-
put it in a fucking dumbass spot like with the rope gun.
Can you wait for me? It's a team game.
I can't wait for you. I messed up.
Alright, I'll figure it out, don't worry.
Yeah, I messed up pretty bad.
I'm not my bad, bro. I probably. It's probably my fault.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Are you dead?
No, but it might be GG's for me pretty soon. Oh! Yeesh. Barely got out of that one.
Where you at? Are you up? Are you above me?
I don't know where I am.
Are you below me?
I don't know where you are.
Can you throw a finger? Fuck, I don't want to die, bro. Fuck.
Oh, I just saw your body fall. You died?
No, I'm still alive.
I'm behind you.
Where?
Behind you.
Oh. Give me a hand,
Oh,
give me a
I'm
hand.
dead.
Together, we can do anything.
Alright, we're gonna have to get in that one little pocket again.
Yeah. You don't have food? Can you give me your hand?
I don't have any food. I can't give you my hand either. I can give you my hand over here.
Okay, one second. Thanks. And then I came up this way, look. It's easier. Fuck. Give me your hand. Remember, I got this rope. Let me give it to you. You ready?
No. What do you want to do with that rope?
Let me give it to you, and then you can use it.
No, you hold on to it, bro.
You don't have it. What do you have on you?
I have stuff, and I don't have my backpack. I had to drop my backpack because I fucked up.
Can you help me?
Yeah, I have my hand out. Oh, you're not gonna make it.
Oh, okay, I'm still alive. Fuck.
This was all because you fell and you said, "Save me, save me, save me."
Well, I'm glad you thought about me.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about you anymore, though. I'm going up. I have rope I can lay down, but you need to make it over here. Wait. Shouldn't you be going the other way around? Shouldn't you be going this way? You want to tell me, oh, I found an easier way this way. You don't have the energy, do you? Alright, bro, good luck.
Alright, man. See what happens when your friends leave you?
Bro, shut the fuck up. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm dead. Goodbye. Oh,
Hey, I never leave my friends.
there's no way we make this.
Well, it's a start.
Yeah, I don't know how we,
I
survive
still have a little bit of
this.
rope.
Here, follow me. Follow me. Okay, bro, do your own thing.
Okay, I'm gonna trust you. Do you have another bandage?
No.
Oh, baby, a triple. Do you have any food?
No, I don't have any food, bro. Fuck, I look like a fucking Walmart.
HEB?
You're an HEB, a huge, enormous bitch. Haha. Got him.
How'd you get up there?
You climb, bro. That's what the game's about.
Why do y'all like to play athletic games that are like
Athletic.
that are not real? There's no way for me to get up there. I think I'm dead.
Bro, this was your idea. I don't know why you're saying you,
Oh, it's
you,
pop-
you,
it's
you. I don't
popular.
know why you.
It's popular
This is
now.
your idea. After you fucking burnt all the bridges down on the Discord server,
Yep.
you reached out and you were like, "Hey, will you please play games with me?"
I didn't ask no please. I've talked about this before.
I'm
Bridges
dead.
got burnt.
I think I might just jump into the lava and say fuck it.
Fuck it! I'm dead! I'm dead, baby! Wow! Throw me in the lava through the fire and flames. It's a cold winter morning. Da-na-na-na-na-na. I am dying. I'm dead. Make sure to smash that like, subscribe, comment. You see me in the lava just boiling.
About to be me because I don't know what to do anymore.
Dang, Copper. I'm having a good time in some lava. Through the fire and flames. Was that you?
Oh, look.
Save me. Save me, Dookie.
Yeah, GG's.
GG's. Smash that like button, guys.
An hour and a half, bro.
That's crazy. Dang, look
I
at
believe
him.
you killed us, bro.
I didn't kill us. We're so close, right?
Yeah, I got pretty close.
Like we almost beat the game.
Yeah.
Dang.
But you have to take into effect that you died 4 times, so.
All right, Felix. Well, I appreciate you. You got anything to say?
No. I'm probably gonna. I got shit going on. I gotta eat, and then I have dinner in San Marcos, so I gotta go do that shit, so. Got a pretty
Alright.
busy day.
All right, man. Thanks for playing. Later.
Yeah.